boys, welcome back to the channel. Gentlemen, in this video we have a very important topic to cover, and that is the topic of your mental real estate, bro. I think this is something that's not communicated enough nowadays, because everybody online talks about, how to do things, what you should be doing, but I don't think there's enough significance really put on how you should be doing very few things and doing those very few things very well instead of trying to do everything, okay? So boys, there was a period in my life, 3 to 4 years, because I think we all have that day eventually where you start to reflect, right? Where you start to maybe question certain things because you're having a bad day or things aren't going your way. You basically kind of hit rock bottom in a way. And if you're the kind of person that starts to question this, ultimately that's probably one of the best days of your life, because in that questioning, in that review, moving forward, do you change everything, right? And that's how it was for me. And so for 3 to 4 years after that day where I was like, holy shit, I'm screwed if I don't do anything, if I don't change the path that I'm currently on, the only thing that I focused on was the betterment of myself in any way, shape, or form, whether it was physically, mentally, financially, like literally just the gym, bro, and my businesses. I had to be selfish to be selfless, right? And why? Why is that? Why is it that I didn't do anything else, bro? No girls. I'm talking about like even potentially having certain girls that I could see myself with for literally the rest of my life and having kids with, or, watching soccer games, because I played soccer my whole life in Germany, here, in high school, watching the World Cup. Like, you just eliminate everything. And the only thing that matters is then the grind, as I like to say, is literally just the pursuit of greatness. And so, why? Why is that? The reason is there's only so much mental real estate that you have in your head. And the second that capacity gets overflown, the second, like, think of your mind as like a piece of land, bro. And the more things you try to do, the more things you try to just get better at, consume your mind with, Netflix, all the distractions, maybe even things that aren't distractions, but you're doing too many of them, like starting 5 businesses at one time, for example. It's like the more of that land you start to buy up with your time and attention, energy, money, whatever, it's like the more chaos happens, the more the overflow, the exploding of everything, right? And so you become less clear, your life becomes more complicated. And that is why your mental real estate is so important. That is why there were 3, 4 years where I didn't talk to a single girl. I was like, nah, you know what? Even though she might be the perfect girl, I can't right now. My attention needs to stay in this place. So if you have a goal right now and you're like, you know what, bro, I really want to get in shape and I really want to make money, or, anything. This doesn't even have to be with those things. It's like a lot of the times what you have to take into consideration, bro, is your mental real estate. It's like, okay, how many things am I trying to juggle right now? And then that's when you start to implement like priority, bro. And really, like, think of that land, right? You start to organize it in the way of like, okay, which house, and essentially that house is like your goal or whatever, am I going to make the priority of building right now? And in that, do you then structure those, right? And most important to least important based off of yourself and what you really want to prioritize. Because then when you do that, things become so much more clear and so much more simple. And a lot of the times, like I just said, where when you don't overcomplicate, when you stop trying to do a million things at once and what everybody's telling you on social media, hey, how to make money here, what you should be doing, and you just focus on like 1, maybe 2 things, you'll see how much easier and how much more you're gonna actually be able to progress, bro, in whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because that mental real estate, that mental capacity, instead of you having like 12 different houses you're building in your mind, you're just building one. And that one house that you do build, you're building it beautifully, right? And then after that construction is finished, you can go start a new project. Is kind of like how I think about it, right? Because every single other time in your life and in my life, I want you to think of the most complex times, the most times where your mind was completely fucked, completely ruined, and you're just all over the place. Those are probably the times in your life where you've been at your lowest, and that's how it's been for me. Anytime in my life I've tried to overcomplicate things, anytime in my life I tried to do too many things at once, has my mind been screwed. And I always like to say, if your head ain't straight, your bread definitely ain't straight, right? And it's literally in that, bro. And I think it's been, a lot of people say, right, it's easier than ever to make money online, to improve. The biggest wealth transfer in history is happening. But I also think that nobody talks about is, like, it's also an easier time than ever to get distracted, to do too many things at once. Dopamine, for example, like all-time high and all this. Like, you got your phone, bro. There, you can just pull it out, watch porn. You don't have to hunt for your food anymore. You can wake up and eat a bag of fucking cereal and milk. Like, it's also easier than ever to consistently consume your mind with the wrong things. And that is exactly the point of this video, bro. Is like, gentlemen, you have to be very cautious and very, very specific with the intent, bro, of what you're doing and the things that you are allowing into your mind. Now, depending on how well you can juggle, that's up to you, right? There's definitely tools for this. Like, some of the boys that I work with, because I do one-on-one and have like an inner network that I run. And so all the boys that joined, the focus is on leveling up, whether it's their fitness, their mind, or building their brand, for example, on social media, right? And the different kind of tools you can utilize for that are like a schedule, for example, that we do. Like, I always like to think of, if you want to operate like a CEO, you have to move like a CEO, right? And what do CEOs move like? They have schedules, they have assistants. A lot of the times, if you want to meet with one of them, you talk to their assistant and they'll say, oh, okay, we have here at this time, we can put you in. And then she lets him know, okay, you got a meeting at this time, right? If you start operating at that level, you need to move like you're at that level. And so there's tools you can use, right, in your life. Another example is like, in business, gentlemen, there's something called a CRM system. And what this system is a customer relations management system. And these systems in business are placed to, like, track money, track leads, track follow-up with customers, specifically in like sales a lot of the times, so that clients don't fall through the cracks. Follow-up doesn't go missing. Like, you don't forget to call somebody on this day because they said they were busy, if you can call them back. And a lot of the times, what is that? That's like a lot of money. Specifically, once when I was working in sales, I found like essentially a lead that fell through the crack, and this lady ended up purchasing a $120,000 car after I found the missing crack. Because a lot of times you can, like, look into the system as to, like, dead leads, like leads that people haven't followed up with in a long time or have gone lost, right? And so just think about it like this, right? I called this lady after months of nobody trying to get back to her, etc. And 2 weeks later, ended up closing a deal on that with her on a $120,000 Mercedes. And it's like, think of that, bro. Simply because somebody fell through the crack, the company essentially almost lost $120,000. So can you only imagine, like, if there was no system, or now that there is a system, how there's still money essentially like falling through the crack? But could you imagine the different scales of this across the board? Like, there's probably multi-millions of dollars in that bucket that people could find. And that's how you got to think about it for your life. Like, what am I getting at with that example is, in business, there's systems to make it thrive. You need to have these systems in place with your life, bro. And these systems are exactly what I'm talking about, like a schedule to keep things organized. Even like a diet plan to keep your diet organized, a workout plan to keep your workouts organized. Thinking about your mental real estate, journaling to clear up your mind. Like, you put all of these systems in place to help you with these things, and to basically ensure that your life doesn't go slipping through the crack, as I like to say, right? But more so to stay on track with this video topic in specific, it's like, bro, one of the biggest contributors to, like, your goal chasing, bro, and your progression is going to be your mental, because everything stems from the mind. And it's like, if you have too much going on in there, bro, and you don't know how to organize it properly, you don't know how to organize the chaos, you don't know how to go about that, like it's gonna prey on your downfall, bro. Believe me, I've experienced it multiple times in my journey. And so you have to absolutely be so aware of becoming selfish and saying no to opportunities, organizing the priority with things you want to do, keeping like one thing the one thing and doing it very well, and then eventually, you know, going on to do other things. Because I've seen people try to diversify themselves and do like 10 things at once, especially when they have like nothing from nothing. It's like, bro, no, do one thing very well, and then eventually you can dabble into like whatever it is, right? But this doesn't even go just for money. This goes into so many other facets and areas of life with what you're trying to do, bro. Anything from learning a new language to whatever. But those kinds of systems are gonna help you organize the chaos. I just want to throw some importance on really keeping that intent, bro, with your mental real estate and with your life, and knowing what you're doing at all times, being self-aware. Because if you don't, like I said, this will eat you alive, bro. Your head will start to explode, and the reason this is so significant is because what does this affect, bro, when your head is just consistently full? Boys, it affects your decision making. It affects your emotions, right? I always like to say, if you're an emotional dude and you're acting on how you feel, like the other guy that's just built on the discipline and built on, it has a clear head, he doesn't do things on how he feels, he's going to beat you every single time. Because if your mind is straight and your mind is not straight and you're trying to make a decision right now, and you have so many different things going off in here, and so you're emotional, you're like, should I go to the gym today? And I don't feel like it. Compared to the other guys, he's clear of mind, he's aware, he's doing one thing, you know, and he's like, I don't really want to go to the gym today, but I know it's something that has to get done. And he just goes, right? He doesn't care how he feels. It's like you're gonna get outworked just because nothing is clear to you. You're emotional. You have so many different things going on in your head, and I promise you, like that's a lot of times what it stems down to, bro. Because when your head ain't straight, nothing's straight, boys. So, gentlemen, hopefully you guys took something valuable from this video and really understanding the importance of your mental real estate, how to organize your life a little better, bro. Keeping as few things as possible in there, really, and doing them very, 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 very well. The different tools you can utilize to organize these tasks and organize your attention, etc. But with that being said, gentlemen, love each and every single one of you. I will see you boys in the next video.